Hi everyone, welcome to another Craftyhallett video. Today I'm going to show you how to make something really quite simple. It's just a little candle holder box for candles from Stampin' Up stuff. To make it a little bit different, I've used some of the Christmas washi tape around the bottom of the tea lights. These are so practical and resourceful, and once you've made one you'll want to keep making them because they're really practical and you can mix them up. This one I've done in pinks with a butterfly and flowers, so it doesn't have to be a Christmassy one, and I've opened that one a different way. This one's the same principle again, but you push it out that way, and there's just a tie, so they're really practical, really quick and easy. I can't claim that these are mine. There are plenty of recipes out there. This is one I've experimented with time and time again, so it works, and hopefully you'll enjoy. So what do you need to make one? And we're going to be making one with a green top and a red base, and that's the Stampin' Up card here that we've used, the 12 by 12 texture cardstock. In cherry cobbler and old olive. And so to start off with, we're going to be making the base piece, which you start off with a piece which is 7 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Don't worry, I will put the dimensions up on the screen for you. And what you're going to do is place this in and score it at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches all the way round. So if you watch, I'll line up on here and I'll score 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to put it back in and score at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. And if that's a bit tricky at first, it will just persevere with it, it will stick. So that's 1.5 inches there, 1.5 inches there, 1.5 inches there. Oops, that's a bit wonky, isn't it? Let's just put that straight again and try again, shall we? 1.5 and 1.5. As you can see, I've scored all the way around. Now, it's a very simple case of trimming off some of your edges. And so, starting at the bottom, you need to cut up the first 1.5 inch score lines on both sides. Then you go to the 1.5 inch here and cut only as far as the first score line. Then cut down and trim that off. Now on this one you're only going to trim down as fast as that line. It's a bit like a stepped pyramid. It'll be a lot clearer once I finish cutting. Bear with. There we go. So you can see one end, and we've cut that. So that's the 3/4 inch cut and the 1.5 inch cut on both sides. And you repeat that on the other side. So it's like a stepped up pattern all the way along. I haven't quite worked out what to do with these little squares yet, because I think they're quite cute and they should have a purpose, and I haven't worked out what their purpose might be. So perhaps I'll have a competition for what to do with these little tiny squares, because there's lots of them. But for the moment, we'll just pop them in the bin. So you can see that I now have cut along all of my edges as described, and now you just want to score the edges of your box gently with your thumb. You can do it with a bone folder, but life's too short to try and find the bone folder with which to do it. If I put it back where I'd got it from, no doubt I would have found it. However, I didn't. So my finger and a little finger crease is going to have to do. Now, the next step is just to slightly angle these tabs, because I find the box comes together neater if you do. We're not talking about a big angle, because otherwise you won't have enough to stick onto, but just enough. There we go. And now you can see that we can fold over like this and over like that, and those are the sides of the box. These two pieces come in and that bit comes over at the end of the box, and ditto for here at this end. There is the end of the other box. And if you gently ease it with your fingers, you will find it all comes together beautifully as a box. At this point I would usually glue it and then wait for the Tombow to glue. You can, because of the video and I want it to set, I'm going to use sticky strip, which you can use for yours if you want to, or you can use Tombow. It's entirely up to you. And you're just going to put a strip down here to hold it together, and one on this other side, and this is the fun part, isn't it, where you have to try and persuade it to come back off again. I'm just going to put another piece on here to hold this tab down, and another piece for this tab. So, luck would have it, there's the bone folder. It's always there when you don't need it. But that wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for my pokey bit. Now, sometimes if you find it difficult to take off the strip, if you tuck the pokey thing underneath, the strip comes right off, and it's much easier. Saves you faffing around with it for ages, doesn't it? There we go. Other bit of the sticky strip off, and so those are now sides coming over like this. Tuck those in, and now I can take off the sticky strip at this end, and again just poke the pokey tool under, and it usually just comes up on one layer and takes it off like this. And same at the other side, like that. Take those over and seal your box. And that is your box finished. Simple, huh? Now it's ready for its candles. There was a fantastic deal on candles at Asda, and they come in all of our beautiful colours. So if you're not in the UK, then I'm sorry, you'll have to try your local Walmart and see if they have them. If you are in the UK, probably every Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the country has already had them away, and you're not going to be able to get any more. If you're from Asda and you're watching, could you please... well done on colour matching the Stampin' Up! Candles, and if you could talk to us in future, we can have candles refreshed in new colours every year. It'd be great. Anyway, so there's my 3 candles popped inside, and you see they fit beautifully. And now I've just got to make the sleeve that goes over the top. Now the sleeve is 5.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and you're going to score it. And I always worry that I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm not. No, have faith, have confidence. So, score it at 3/4 inch, 2.5, 3.25, and 5. And now, very handily, I happen to have my bone folder, so I can fold over my score lines with my bone folder, and again just fold over at all of the score lines. This one hasn't scored particularly chunkily, has it? Good job I found the bone folder, really. And then again here. This is the sleeve that fits over your box. It's really simple, and your candles will just slide in. She said, famous last words. Yeah, they will. There you go. That's just your sleeve, and you can just seal up there with a piece of sticky strip, and you're done. Now, I wanted to talk about decoration. So, I've got a strip here, which is the right size to fit on top of the box, and that measures 4.5 by 1.5 inches, and it's our double-sided scrapbook paper, as you can see. You can have any side you fancy. As to trimming it, we've got some wonderful cherry cobbler chevron trim ribbon, which is what I've done here in the green. Alternatively, we have this cherry cobbler cross grain ribbon, which is so luxurious. It just ties so beautifully, and I've done a tag here with are cherry cobbler twine, so they all match together nicely. But I thought that I would show you a different type of topping today. So I'm going to be using this wonderful new die that Stampin' Up! Brought up, which is called the Gift Bow Bigs die. And on it you've got, you can't really see very well, but you've got enough die cutters that you can cut out every kind of different bow that you could imagine. There's about 10 different bows that you can get out of it. But I'm going to be using the smaller bow piece, which is here, and you need to cut 2 of those, plus one of the little windy bits that goes over it. So I'm not going to cut those out, but that's the one you're cutting. And in Blue Peter style, here's one I cut earlier. So hang on a minute, bear with me. Here's all the little bits. So you got this piece, and then the middle piece. And so I'm just rolling those over together. And at this point, I find it more convenient to use Stampin' Up! Dimensionals to stick them all together. So I take a dimensional and pop it there, and pop one over and seal it that side. Then another dimensional and pop it to put that side over. So I now have 2 sides together. And then on my piece that goes around the middle, I use a bit of sticky strip just to hold it firmly. Seal that down. And take the backing off again with my handy pokey tool. Sometimes this can be very difficult to get off, and it's still proving difficult. Gosh, well, that just means it's very efficient and extremely sticky. Just bear with me. Here we go. All done. Panic over. And then I hold my 2 pieces together, 2 pieces of the bow, like this, and wrap this piece round so that that's like that. And then this is a strip of cherry cobbler that is a half an inch wide by 4.5 inches long, and I've tail cut the ends and then folded it on the angle there, so that just sticks underneath as the edge of the bow. It's quite a cute little bow. One sticky dimensional usually does the trick. Pop it underneath, and instead of tying our new box with a ribbon, we can tie it with a bow. So I'm just going to complete the box by putting a little bit of sticky strip on the sleeve to make the sleeve. Like this. I'm going to wrap that around my base layer, like that. So that's my sleeve for my box that opens up and closes. And then I'm going to be placing my piece of design scrapbook paper on top, and finishing off with a bow and maybe a tag. I'm not going to show you how to make that because that's just going to be dull for you, but here we go. You can see it, how it would finish. I just wanted to show you also a few tags that we made with my class this week that could equally have worked. So here we've stamped the Bar Humbug onto a tag. There's the Naughty But Nice. This is a stamp set that Stampin' Up! Have brought out. This is just a stamp all on its own, the Holy Holy Night. Here's another one that would look quite cute on it with a little bow. More tags. Tags from the Stamp It Tag It kit. Here's another tag, would be a bit big for this box, but it's still more tags. Here's another one just to show you the versatility of the the paper and the stamps this Christmas. So if you wanted to order any of this, please visit my website. You can now shop online, and one lucky person this month is going to win a big shot. It could be you. Thank you for watching.